Alright, so this video is going to be me talking about Yoshi and how he functions in Project M 3.0, how he compares to how he was in Brawl, how he was in Melee, and yeah. While I do that, you can enjoy some fights I've had with the computer players. I'm not trying to say, oh hey, I'm a badass because I can beat the computers. I'm pretty much just showing off how Yoshi works. And this is all footage from pretty much my first day playing as him. And he's become my main right now to this very day, so pardon me if I do some really poor decisions against the computer player, but who cares really? So, Yoshi has always been known for being this really quirky character in the Smash games. He's kind of been this light, medium character hybrid, with his aerials pretty much being the backbone of his moveset, but, you know, his ground moves also tend to rack up a lot of combos as well. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah. Yoshi's also been known for having really poor recovery. I think his recovery's been the worst in Brawl, mostly because of footstool hopping, which was a mechanic that was complete bullshit. But, oh, there's me SDing like an idiot. There's not much the Project M developers could do for Yoshi, because his moveset pretty much makes him destined to have poor recovery. In Smash 64, he didn't have anything. In Melee, he didn't have anything. The only thing they did have in both of those games was the fact that he has super armor in his double jump, which he still retains in this game because it just wouldn't be Yoshi without that. The super armor doesn't work at very high percentages, but it is still a pretty decent super armor that is really useful for just straight headbutting through edge guards. Just plowing right through them. Yeah, combos like that are pretty nice to see in this game. As for recovery in Brawl, Yoshi had this short egg hop, which kind of helped him get back on. He doesn't really have that anymore. Not in this version. They actually helped him out with his recovery by giving his egg roll more horizontal distance in the air. But it is still a move that is really easy to get hit out of. And it's really easy to gimp Yoshi with it as well, so I mostly use it to rack up combos and for recovery, but I don't use it relentlessly, because it is really easily gimpable in this game, because there is a short hop that is done with the egg roll, where if your opponent hits you during the short hop, then you lose your second jump, and you pretty much can't get back onto the stage, and you just get gimped like a chump. It's really not that fair, to be honest. So, I think I'll just dissect Yoshi's moveset from here on out. His jabs are pretty decent, it's just that 1-2 kick that he's had in all the Smash games. His forward tilt is just him whipping his tail. It's very helpful for edge guarding, as well as the down tilt, where he swings his tail along the ground. His up tilt is the same up tilt from Smash 64, as opposed to Melee and Brawl, where he whips his tail up in the air. He actually does a headbutt, which covers a lot more distance and racks up a lot more combos, potentially. His smashes are the same as they were in Brawl, except I think they made his tail larger than they normally get when he does the moves. But they're still very reliable to KO your opponent with, even though I mostly use the aerials. Alright, so his neutral air, like a lot of characters in this game where their neutral air is just a plain kick, it has a lot of priority in it, and is basically a panic move, but it's also really good for KOing, provided you don't SD like me, like an idiot. The forward air is very useful for delivering a finishing blow. I mostly do it for style because it is a guaranteed meteor smash every time you use it, provided you hit the guy, but I digress. Again, I use it mostly for style, but there are combos like that where it is much more useful to do that as opposed to anything else. It doesn't come out immediately like Sonic's, but it's still pretty damn good. His back air, the tail whip, is really great for edge guarding. Just keeps the opponent off. And it actually hits quite a few times and deals a fair amount of damage, so it's pretty nice in that regard too. His up air is still a KO move like it was in Brawl. Like, you can combo with it and you can KO with it, given the right percent. It's not as big of a KO move as it was in Brawl, because back in Brawl I remember being able to KO opponents that were at like 70 with that up air. But then again, I haven't played Brawl in a long time. But it's still a pretty decent KO move. Yoshi's down air still can potentially deliver 40 damage, which is a nice thing to have, provided you can actually hit your opponent with it. It's a really nice shield trainer as well. And as far as Yoshi's grabs go, it's really hard to pull off grab combos with Yoshi because his tongue has a really small hitbox for grabbing. But, you know, you can still chain grab with him. It's just kind of hard to, given that the hitbox for the tongue is pretty freaking small. Like, ridiculously small. And now, as for his specials, he still has the egg lay, which is mostly used just to troll your opponent, maybe do it to them over the ledge, and then put them in a really tough spot. I don't use it all that often because I'm still kind of bad, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, the egg roll is much more useful to rack up combos because Yoshi goes in and out of the egg roll much faster than he does in Brawl and Melee, and, you know. But like I said, it's also a really easily gimpable move, seeing as though it does a short hop if you do it on the ground, and it takes away your double jump. Now, his egg toss in this game, like I said earlier, does not give you a short hop like it did in Brawl, but it's still really useful to edge guard with. And Sonic just gets on my fucking nerves. Yoshi's B down, the ground pound, it doesn't have too much priority. It has a lot more priority than it definitely did in Brawl. Or was it Melee? Either or. No, wait. I remember in Melee it pretty much had no priority at all. In Brawl it had more. In this game I think it's about the same as Brawl. But it still retains that little cloud that comes out in front of Yoshi when you start doing it, so that it hits your opponent so that it sets them up to get hit by the ground pound. Which was something that I've used to all hell when I was playing Brawl. I don't know why I did that. Now, Yoshi's shield. Yoshi's shield has always been unique, seeing as though he just puts himself in an egg and cases up his entire body, so you can't really shield stab with him. You can't really shield stab him. But for the first time in a Smash game, Yoshi can actually jump out of his shield, which proves very useful. his shield roll is still really slow, and your opponent can pick up on it. Your opponent can get a lot of combos with it really fast because it is such a slow shield roll, so I try not to do it often, but sometimes I just do it on impulse because I'm used to playing as characters that have fast shield rolls, because Yoshi hasn't been in Project M for forever. He just came out in 3.0. If I need to get away if I need to get away from a situation, I try to use the egg roll, I try to wave dash. I would normally not shield roll. Another thing about Yoshi is that they did include momentum canceling in this game, but what I really like about Yoshi that he has that other characters don't have is controlled momentum canceling. Because I remember in Melee, what really pissed me off about Yoshi was that because he didn't have an up B to recover with, you couldn't really get back onto the ledge, and if you did a move, then you would be SOL because there was momentum canceling no matter what you did in Melee. In Brawl, there was no momentum canceling at all, so Yoshi would always fly up if you did a double jump and then did a move. Kind of like that right there. In this game, you can actually control it. If you hold the jump button, you won't cancel the momentum, which is a really nice thing to have, because both having momentum canceling and not having momentum canceling are very helpful. It was a really nice touch that I felt was pretty good. Yoshi can still crawl in this game. I don't use the crawling much, but, you know, I probably should. Because it does get under lasers and stuff. Another thing about Yoshi is that, yeah, he is very prone to SDing with. He, like I said, is a very quirky character in the Smash games, and as such, is really weird to control. But you gotta love that fucking dinosaur. If you don't love that dinosaur, you just don't love Smash. This Zelda almost gets me right here. That's depressing. And there's the finishing blow. I think I've pretty much talked out all I could about Yoshi as far as this update goes. But there's still another fight, apparently. So I'll see if I can think of anything. Oh yeah, Yoshi now has 10 colors for his costumes in this game. Back in Brawl, there was only green, red, blue, yellow, light blue, and pink. In this game, they added purple, they added black, white, and orange. And as you can see, they added Mega Charizard from X and Y. Which is pretty nice, actually. Dragon-type Charizard. Yoshi doesn't really have an alternate costume in this game. They didn't give a lot of The developers gave out a lot of alternate costumes, but Yoshi just didn't have one because there wasn't really much of one to give. I don't know, I think I would like Yoshi with the sunglasses from that one episode of that horrible Super Mario World series. Because I know they could do it, because they put sunglasses on Squirtle. Not as an actual costume, but when he wins, he puts on sunglasses sometimes. But yeah, I still really like Yoshi in this game. I think the developers gave Yoshi a lot of justice, did what they could with him, and I appreciate their efforts. I appreciate everything that the development team does for this game. Just doing all this in their spare time. That's just so fantastic. But yeah, that should end the video, so I will see you guys next time.